I was burning out quite a bit, man.
How
And
so?
well, um, I say that it probably has to do with my food.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes down to food and sleep is where I needed the most work. But also I had it was kind of leaking into my mental health as well. So
So you figured it out because you know the rungs now,
yeah.
huh? Cool. So you self-assessed and now you're gonna self-correct.
Mm.
Sorry, man, that happens. But what in general, what have you noticed about your body throughout this
Uh,
time, your training?
well, I've noticed my toes and my ankles rearranging themselves, and also I've been doing my best. Like I was walking for a minute, and I was just working on walking correctly and stuff. And then after the day after, my the very bottom part of my calf, so the Achilles, was super sore, and yeah, I found that really interesting and pretty exciting as well. And
Hmm.
yeah, I've also been trying to run differently whenever I'm doing football. But that's, I mean, I've been doing that for a minute now, trying to correct that. But I feel like I'm more diligent with it.
Does it feel easier now to run when you push off with your foot?
Um, I haven't really noticed that. It's been actually I've been running, and I think I don't know what to do. I was thinking about doing some running intervals. Like I run for a minute and then I sprint and then I run and then I sprint, some
Hmm.
stuff like that because my conditioning feels terrible, or at least like my I've been running more because of the exercises that I've been putting and I've been trying to push myself more and such. But whenever I do that, I just feel like I can't. I just feel like I'm limited through my breathing or something in my body. You know.
Got it. Okay, cool. And so this week you weren't able to complete as many workouts,
No.
but the week prior you were good.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So what was difficult about food and sleep this week?
Well, for my sleep, I actually found a solution. Um, my dad was telling me how there was this one year that I had whenever I was waking up early every day, and I forgot exactly what I was doing, but I remember that I was using binaural stuff and stuff to play at night, and so I haven't been doing the binaural stuff, but instead I've been doing rainfall, and thunder, and that's helped out my sleep quite a bit just to have that playing. And I think it helps me fall asleep faster as well. And for my food, um, I I don't know, man. I'm still not structuring it properly, so I gotta I gotta set it all up tomorrow and have the whole week prepared.
What's tough about structuring?
Well, um, I don't know. It's like I prepare some meals that I can go through for a little bit, but then I forget to keep. Or actually, I've just been like, no, I just don't feel like cooking anymore. You know, I've been
Mm,
getting that quite a bit this week, and I was like, damn, bro, I gotta make food for myself because nobody else is going to. You know, but it's I've been burned out from cooking so much as well.
got it. Okay, so burned out from cooking. Okay.
But that's also it also has to do with how I'm cooking because I tend to do like I prepare like a meal that I could eat for like the day that I'm eating, and then I'll eat it later that day, and then I'll have a little bit left over for the next day, and then the next day I'm cooking again. So I gotta prepare to where I'm just heating up food some days rather than always cooking, you know.
Okay, so yeah, I think what should happen is I think you should cook for at least 2 days worth. And that way you're not cooking for 2 days and then you cook again. So you only cook 2 days for 2 days worth each. If that makes sense.
Mm,
Knock out 4 days.
yeah.
I also a good idea is think big pot meals. Like stews are a good idea because they're easy. Stir fries, easy. If you can do those two, you should be set.
All right.
I would cook a big stir fry and like you can do it one of two ways. You can combine like protein in there or stir fry like all your veggies in one go and just have a bulk container of vegetables that are just ready to consume.
Mm,
You simply just portion out. So you got a couple of choices, right? So choice number one is bulk prep veggies. Then you can simply portion out. Because that could technically last you more than 2 days if you make a lot of it, right? Like that could last you 4 days if you just bulk prep the veggies. Then if you bulk cut the fruit, you can have this also where you can portion it out through the week. And then you basically just want to mix fruit, of course, and just bulk cut it. And then it's just really like it's meat, eggs, that's like what's left, right? That's the cooking thing.
mm,
So you can do it to where if you get this handled, that could technically last you the entire week.
mm.
That making sense?
Yeah.
What's your mind thinking right now? Like that would be helpful? That would be supportive?
Yeah. I'm thinking about how much I gotta make to last that long.
Best way to think about it is just take your hand, right? And make a cup like this, cupful. And just think, okay, this little cupful, or this little cupful consists of my vegetable portion I'm going to eat for each meal.
Mm,
So how many of these do I need to cook?
yeah.
And then go. Simple. And fruit, just go nuts on fruit because you're going to probably eat it every day.
Yeah.
Like mixed papaya, melon, kiwi, everything you can think of, and just portion it out.
All right.
Questions, support, anything, any insight there? What are you thinking about? I see your brain's thinking. You're going somewhere.
Well, I'm just thinking what I gotta get from the store tomorrow.
Okay. Let me go back here.
Ingredients.
And also, you can do some carb stuff like sweet potato, wild rice. Okay, we can break it down like this. So say you do your bulk prep veggies, right? You make a stir fry. So the strategy is stir fry. say you do squash, tomatoes, you do, um, you do
Zucchini.
these onions, garlic, ginger. That can be your stir fryer right there. That can be your mixed fruit right there.
Mm. Will the banana last?
I would do like, maybe you can do, boom.
Okay.
And you could technically, like, you can put the papaya and melon in one container and put the kiwi, strawberries, and blueberries in another container.
Mm.
You don't want all that juice to mix too much, then it ferments fast.
Okay.
Boom. And then literally you got your, you can make a bunch of this. You can make a lot of that. You can like yeah, you can make a lot. You can make a lot of wild rice. That's easy. Bulk prep the rice. How's it look?
We good?
Helpful?
Yeah.
This is how you can do it. So when you're structuring it, right, every week before the week begins, you can think of it this strategy versus like meal per meal. You can think of, okay, let me think of each nutrient by itself. So if it's vegetables, you separate that out into its own category.
Mm.
This is its own category that you're going to be prepping. If it's fruits and carb like this, it's its own category. And then the meat, eggs, or fish dish part, whatever it is you want to do for protein, yogurt, whatever it is, that's its own category too. So you can figure out how to prepare each one versus trying to make one meal per. It's one meal per might burn you out, but doing it like this may make it such that you're just picking from each container to create the meal. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Does that seem more feasible for you?
Yeah, that makes more sense for me.
So that's what I want you to do, man. Implement this strategy, and I think you'll save a ton of time, and your brain won't be so inundated with how you're going to do everything.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Cool. That was easy. Easy solution.
Word.
Cool. So that should fix probably 90% of problems you're having. Okay.
What do you think about the binaural stuff?
I think binaural beats are pretty cool. They really help you connect right and left hemispheres. That's powerful. What I do think for sure though, what's even more benefit for people would be to think about and I say this only because I'm on a similar journey, but I think it's applicable to every athlete. So we all have these dominant negative thought patterns. Okay. And
What does that mean?
a dominant negative thought pattern is, think about things like abandonment, things like fear, things like inadequacy, things like betrayal, things like mistrust, things like anger. These are just examples of types of dominant negative thought patterns. Now, people have different ones that are more dominant than others. Like what you want to do is understand which ones are playing in your head the most.
Okay.
Because like honestly, the work is the work, right? Like the work is like, okay, you train, you eat, and you do your thing. The work is the work. The only thing that stands in our way is here.
Yeah.
Everything. Right? So if this is the dominant negative thought pattern, okay, say you got even more, right? Say there was, here, I'll pull up some more from my own work that I'm doing right now. There's grief, there's guilt, there's hopelessness, indecisiveness, insecurity, joylessness. Let's see. I'll put that into our document. Okay. So there's guilt, joylessness, depression, it just
Could
keeps going.
laziness be one?
What's that?
Could laziness be one?
Yeah.
Or procrastination?
I see procrastination and laziness are more byproducts of some of these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you think about it, I'm gonna take some of numbness, unappreciated, defensiveness, regret. So can you see what I'm popping up here?
No.
Oh, you can't. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's regret. So laziness could be a byproduct of depression.
Mm.
Right? Laziness and not having motivation or feeling burnt out could be a product of some other negative thoughts playing in your head. Right? Say that fear runs in your head. Say that inadequacy runs in your head, where you're just like, I just don't think I'm enough. I don't think I can ever live up to what needs to happen to become this whatever person. If that's running in your head, think how exhausting your brain's going to be. Because every decision you're making, you're trying to force it.
How do you get around that?
So to get around each like negative thought pattern, there are a couple of strategies, and this is something I'm applying to my own life right now, right? Like this is something I'm learning in the current moment. So one thing I'm learning is that my dominant negative thought patterns literally dictate every action I take. Because here's the truth, bro. What we think, what we feel, and what we do all need to be in alignment in order for us to move forward in the direction we want, right? Because really what matters is this. Okay? That is the key. Because what you feel is true. What you think and do are utilities, right? They're utilities for you. Like you think you're like your Batman with the utility belt. So if you're Batman with the utility belt, right? These are your means by which you can make this get better and better and better, right? Now, say that I feel I feel say my true feelings about something is like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is great. I feel so good about this. This is the right path, right? If I feel that this is the right path, but I start thinking things like, but what if I'm afraid? But what if it doesn't work? What if I'm inadequate? What if my friends are going to leave me because I'm doing this crazy thing? What if my parents don't understand me? I'm not going to be there. Those are the thoughts that get inserted into your brain because of whatever reason, right? Like maybe you experienced something in the past. Maybe you did something that was not right. Or maybe someone did something to you that didn't feel right. So then these thoughts are almost inevitable because they're there in you, right? And then what happens is we start performing behaviors that don't really represent or even congruent with what we truly feel. So our behaviors might be like, okay, well, I really feel like this is the right path and I want to like put in the time and effort, but since I feel like I'm not adequate, what's the point? I don't want to do this today. I don't want to cook, or I don't want to do that or that or this or this or that. Right? Or hey, man, I feel guilty for not doing this thing. Oh, I should be doing this thing. And then you don't want to be acting from a place of guilt.
Yeah.
Is this resonating so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I mean, I'll give you an example from my own life. I have often, and this is something that has happened recently too, unfortunately. I have often I often will let this, which is all this stuff, get in the way of this and what I want to happen with this, what actions I really want to take. Because what I want to do here is act from a place of what I truly feel. But what I've done a lot, and even recently, which has led to some heartache for me, is that I have felt this, thought some stupid fear, and then did something that was totally incongruent to how I felt. Okay. So what do you do about this? And this is a journey I'm on. I'm like, right now, I'm looking at all 42. There's like 42 different dominant negative thought patterns they've kind of shown you, I've been learning about. And I'm going to go through each negative thought pattern. Okay. And I'm going to break it down. So for example, I'm going to break it down such that here. This can be the work, right? Because this is never ending. I can send you all 42, by the way. I'll send that to you so you can start doing this work. But like for you, bro, I think the game for you is your brain. It's like movement is natural to you. I can coach you through it. I can give you tips. I can give you little fixes. You can do it. You're a talented mover. The only thing that gets in your way is your head. That's it. So what you do, right, is basically you pick a dominant negative thought pattern. But before you even do that, set your intention. Okay. Now, like, what is your intention for the day, right? So if your intention is like, look, I want to make sure, it could just simply be this, bro. What I think, feel, and do should be in alignment. That can be your intention. Then to make it more applicable to you, what I think, feel, and do in relation to my goal of becoming a pro athlete needs to be in alignment. What I think, feel, and do in relation to the relationship I have with my father, with my brother, with my mom needs to be in alignment. And if you want to go spiritual with it, you can throw in like, look, God, if you can throw whatever you need to help you connect, do it. But it's always the same. Okay, now after you set the intention, then it's like, all right, now let's look at your dominant DNTP. You can basically like look at all the different DNTPs you have, like when I send it to you, and write out the rating of intensity you feel toward each thought pattern. So for example, you look at so I look at inadequacy. That's something that plays in my head a lot, inadequacy. Am I good enough to do what I'm doing? Am I good enough for this person? Am I good enough for this relationship? Will I ever live up? You know, and that comes from a lot of stuff, right? So then you want to talk about all the times in your life you have felt this and why. So you write it all out, right? You're like, okay, here are all the times I have felt inadequate, and this is why. Now, once you've written it out, you've done that portion of it, the next step is to then think about, okay, now that I've written out, how do I deal with the charge and the emotional and energy that's coming up with this? Because when you start thinking about, oh my God, yeah, that one time that person said that to me and now I feel like I'm not even enough. Oh man, that sucked. Then I remember that one time. You're going to have feelings in your body. So you have to deal with the feelings in your body first, because you can't really get to changing your thought patterns if you don't deal with the charge that's coming up. So you deal with the feelings. So say the feelings are like heart races, shallow breath, looking around a lot, face scrunches. Write it all down. What's going on? Okay. Then there are simple tips to start dealing with this, right? The one thing you already know, like you started doing with me, like peripheral vision. Okay. Now here's how you can make it more interesting, right? So once you pull up all of these emotions, right? You pull up all this stuff. Then it's like, okay, let me take in my peripheral vision, right? So like, if I want to think about, this is pretty cool. Say it's inadequacy, right? I pulled up all the emotions. I'm like, I feel level 10 intensity. It's a lot for me. Oh my God, my chest is feeling tight. My throat's closing up. My voice is going higher. I can't speak from my umph anymore. Okay. First technique you can use is the peripheral vision, right? So, but you can make it more specific. Think about a point. So say that the bottle right now is my point, okay? The bottle is my point of reference. And I'm going to first look at the bottle, and the bottle represents inadequacy, okay? If the bottle represents inadequacy, take a deep breath. Okay, first step, I'm gonna look up, okay? As I look up, I'm gonna take in my periphery everywhere around. And you can tell yourself, okay, I intend on releasing this inadequacy. Or I intend on releasing the charge around inadequacy, the feeling of it, my chest doing whatever it is, my throat. Then you can look down, taking the periphery here. I can release it. Then you look up to the right, periphery. I will release it. Middle to the right. I'm going to release it. Top left. I'm going to release it. Middle left. It's releasing. Bottom left. It's releasing. And then come back to the point, inadequacy again. And then what I'm going to do from here is then look at it, look up, look back at it. up, right? Look back at it. And so, could you see what was happening to me?
Yeah, you seem to relax in your shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, I have charge around it.
Mm.
So, bro, like this shit will kill you. There's no doubt. And I guarantee there's not many coaches right now they're looking at this when it comes to being a successful athlete. What they will tell you instead is be a closer, be a freaking beast. And that works for some. But then when all things hit the fan, they can't rely on pure willpower. What are they going to rely on?
Mm.
It's the same capacity demand issue, right? Like if capacity is here and demand is here, how do I deal with it? I have to build more capacity. And that means that I have to really get rid of all these like things that take my energy away because they take you away from actually doing what you want. So that's one strategy, right? Is that. Second strategy is I can be doing this, bro. This takes a little bit of coordination, or you can do it without it. You just tap the middle of your chest, right here. And as you tap, immediately as you start tapping, you'll begin to relax. So before you go, think about like inadequacy for you, like not being enough, right? That's a common thing for every athlete. Think about the feelings it brings up. Where does it come up in your body? Think about it. Neck.
Oh, yeah, in my throat. Yeah.
Saw it. Immediately saw your neck. Go. Tighten up. Okay. Where else?
Yeah, I think my chest does tighten.
Chest and throat. Bro, this is one of the most common things. Inadequacy. This is for every human. But sometimes it can get in the way of the most beautiful thing.
Mm.
Most beautiful thing, right? It could be like you playing sports. It could be your relationship with your friends, whatever it is. It's gotten in the way for a lot for me.
Mm.
Okay, you feel your throat, feel your chest. Okay, now that you feel that, what I want you to do, start tapping. And breathe. Now, along with tapping, what you can do is do the exact exercise I just showed you. So we're going to pick a point in the room, okay? Say I picked I'm looking at the foam roller right now, but you can pick something that, whatever that point is, that represents inadequacy for you. Okay. Now, as you're tapping, as you're looking at that point, now you're going to look up like this with your eyes and breathe. And you can just say to yourself, look, I intend to release this inadequacy feeling, but moreover, I tend to release the charge because right now it's just body feeling. Okay, cool. And you look right back at your point of reference you're looking at. Then you want you to look down. You say, I can release this. Okay. Then you look up and to the right. Up and to the right. I will release it.
I will release it.
And then the middle to the right, after you look back at your point of reference. I'm going to release it.
I'm going to release it.
Then down to the right. I'm going to release it again.
I'm going to release it.
Top left, it's releasing.
I can feel it.
Mm-hmm. Middle left.
I will release it.
Bottom left, it's releasing.
It's releasing.
Look back at that point of reference. That represents the charge you felt around inadequacy. Now, how's your throat? How's your chest?
Definitely feels better.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it feels like.
Now think about, dude, think about like you leading from that space. So like now when you need to make your meals, you need to go do your training, you need to go work out.
Mm.
That's the space you come from. Versus, oh my God, like I have all this charge, I feel inadequate, I feel this, all these feelings are running in our head.
Mm.
And then it goes back to what you think, feel, and do, right? We just talked about right here. Because now you're dealing with the thought that's preventing you from doing what you need to do and honoring what you truly feel. When you can deal with this and get this out of your way, now it's like, okay, I feel this, I'm doing this, and my thinking is reinforcing these two things. Because then your thinking is just about strategy, right? Like I just gave you a strategy for cooking. It was so like simple. But like, what if you didn't have this like thought pattern that was running in your head? Could you have not possibly come up with a solution on your own?
I guess I could. I don't know where to start though.
I mean, that's why I'm here, right? But could you not have more space?
Mm.
Think of a solution.
Yeah.
Right? That's the power I want you to take away from this. So it's like, okay, so you just use the eye movement and the thumping, right? There are other things too, but those two by themselves are beasts to release the charge. Now, when you do this on your own, bro, I want you to like really write out your entire experience with each thought. Like, what is your experience with each thought? I'm doing this too right now. Like for the next like 84 days, I'm gonna go ham because like I am looking at like, and it takes you about 2 to 4 days, it seems like, to release the charge and decrease the intensity. And then when I get through all 42, I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna keep doing it over and over and over and over and over until I feel very little charge around these things. And then it's just, now I can always be in alignment. This is like lifetime, bro. This is like thousands of dollars of value right here for you. Because this is your life. All right, so you did the thumping and peripheral vision. Okay, now what's next? It's not enough just to reflect and then do the energy discharge. You now have to think about reinforcing, but also what are you affirming now? Because like you have to affirm something different in its place, right? So for example, if you just dealt with the charge around this feeling, now you have to deal with how to affirm what you're actually wanting. That's a very different space, because if you're affirming now, like, look, what I'm wanting is I don't want to feel this. It's okay to feel it though. Like you don't want to push it down. It's okay. Like it's normal to feel this. If you're human, you feel this. But now, before you even go there though, You need to ask yourself, what are you realizing, right? Because like, for example, when I was doing this exercise, I started doing this yesterday. My first one was abandonment. Now this one is inadequacy. What I realized, and what I'm still realizing about inadequacy, is that how much of it was because of past experiences. And in those past experiences, I didn't have any tools or resources to be able to process
Mm,
what was going on. So instead of processing, like, hey, I'm okay, like, yeah, like I feel inadequate right now, but you know what? Maybe I just need more tools. Maybe I just need some support. Maybe I need to ask someone to help me understand this better, and then I won't feel this way. I didn't have those tools. So what I decided for myself is I created the wall and the boundary of I'm just inadequate. So it's not, there's no point in me trying as hard. So think about that wall that's existing in my life for so long, right? Like you're younger, so you might as well crush that shit now. Like get that stuff nipped in the bud.
mm,
Don't let that plague you, because it's gonna kick you in the butt when you're playing sports. Like you should, I don't want you to feel inadequate. You should feel scared because you're about to do something big. That's it. That's it. I feel some fear, but I'm gonna face it. But I know I can face it because I've done this work. So what do you, so you need to really think about what you're realizing. Like, oh, like I didn't realize that this is how I've been acting in all these scenarios. This is how I've been acting in soccer.
mm,
When someone says something to me, it triggers this inadequacy feeling, and I act this way in reaction to it. And I don't even realize it is just running a motor pattern, running on autopilot.
yeah, yeah, I get that. Because
Right.
with my coach, I've been starting to realize how he's getting in my head.
Now, coach's job is to get you to reflect. But sometimes a lot of athletes don't know how, because all they hear is all they feel is the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger's like, all right, I'm not doing it right. I'm inadequate. This is not going to work. Why should I try? I don't have any resources to deal. So here's the reframe, right? It's like, hold up. Let me like deal with the charge. Because right now I'm triggered. I am honestly triggered. Let me deal with this. Boom. Deal with it. Okay, what am I realizing? Man, I've been doing this for like with my dad. I've been doing this with my friends. I've been doing this with my mom. Doing this whenever I see something on TV. It can be anything, right? Now, once you realize it, that here comes the choice, the agency, right? Your agency and your choice now comes in because you're fully aware, right? Like you're aware of what's going on. You acknowledge that this is going on in your life. Okay. You're realizing, okay, this is what's up. So you're starting to accept it. Okay, this is what is really happening. The action part, bro, this is the action part that's most important, is what thought are you putting in its place? Right? Now, this doesn't just happen from saying, I am enough, I am enough. Like that doesn't, like that's not it. Okay. I've seen too many people try. I've tried that. It doesn't work. I've tried to affirm myself even in the worst moments of my life, and it does not work. It works for a bit, but then when something else hits the fan, it brings you right back down. You don't want to be yo-yoing throughout your life, right? So it's like, okay. So when you're doing an affirmation, you got to think about what actions allow me to affirm that I am adequate. That is way more empowering than saying, no, man, I'm adequate. Nah, bro, I'm adequate. Right? Like, I see that all the time. No, man, you don't know me like that. I see it, people say that stuff on the basketball court. People say it like playing sports.
Mm.
It's like stupid stuff. Like, why are you trying to flex right now?
Yeah. It's like what Jordan does. He doesn't talk that much trash. He just beats your ass, That's his
Yeah,
actions.
man. that's the action, right? So like the action, then you got to ask yourself a couple of questions, right? So who do I need to speak to about this? The easiest thing you can do is resource, but it is the hardest thing because then you have to deal with, will this person accept me? Will this person, all these thoughts again, right? But if you resource with the right people, yo, man, I've been feeling this thing, and I processed it. I wrote down all my experiences with it. I'm realizing these things. Do you have some insight for me? Because the moment you get insight, they're already affirming the opposite. You know what I mean? This is the action you took. You went to go speak to someone about it. Boom, that's step one. Okay, B, how can I have a disconfirming experience? How can you disconfirm the idea of being inadequate?
You prove it to yourself that you're not.
Yeah. Right. And it's like it can be as simple as like, okay, like, what have I accomplished? And bro, it could be so small. It could be like, dude, I juked this dude out. I made him fall, and I scored. I got past that defender. I did this. When my back was up against the wall, I was able to turn it around. Like those things. So you can look at past experiences where you did feel more than adequate. You felt on top of the freaking world. Right? It's easy. Like it's easy to bring yourself down. Like I do that a lot. And so like, I'm working on this myself. Like this is something that, and the funniest things are the hardest lessons that I teach are the ones that I have to also learn. Right. And that goes vice versa. That's why I teach it. That's why I teach it. So that's that. How can I have disconfirming experience? Look at the past experience. Where do you feel more adequate? Right. So next thing, act and put all your effort into
Yo, dude, I can see you on a roll, and I really don't want to interrupt, but I gotta go use the bathroom real quick.
go for it, man.
I'll be right back. All right, I'm back.
Cool. All right, we're back. So how can you act, put all your effort into being proficient at something or getting more skills or finding your vulnerabilities? Like where are you weak in this thing? Right? Like, what part of the chain are you feeling weak here? Right? And simply, it's like what you do with training. Like you can either say, "Oh man, I'm not good enough," Or you can be like, okay, let me look at where do I have problem? You know, so is it that I'm not communicating this properly? Is it communication is the issue? Where is the issue that I'm not dealing with right now? So who do I speak to? How can I have a discovering experience? Put all my effort into being proficient at something or getting more skills and finding your vulnerabilities. And that's how you would then truly affirm this, right?
Would you have to do A, because I
Okay.
feel you can just confirm it from already feeling it, you know?
It's true. You can. But I will say this, don't discount this.
Okay.
And the reason why, okay, is because, and it depends, right? It does depend who you ask for insight from.
Mm.
Like, I'm your coach. I'm going to give you I'm always got your best interest at heart, right? But, hold on, decline. Always have your best interest. Come on, man. Tripping. All right. So I always got your best interest at heart, right? So like you could ask if you felt safe, you could trust me. If you felt safe, you could trust me. And then whoever else you trust in your immediate environment,
Gotcha.
that's what you're looking for. Okay. You don't want to be so alone at this, man. Like that's something I've done a lot in my life is be alone in a lot of stuff because I
Mm.
thought that people wouldn't understand or they would make it worse. But the thing is, bro, if you're so solid, check this out. Here's how you can start trusting people. If you're so solid because you've done this work already, like look, you already went through it. You looked at all the times you felt this way. You dealt with the charge around it. The charge is gone. So if you're solid in yourself like this, then when you go approach that person, that charge won't be there. Let me undo this.
Mm.
Um, because really what we're mostly afraid of is, oh my God, that charge is going to come up. I'm going to feel like, oh, this is going to bug me, blah, blah, blah. That's usually what, come on now. That's usually what we're afraid of. You don't want to feel the thing around that person. But if you already dealt with this, you're like, all right, look, I'm looking for insight. I'm good, but I'd like to resource. Different energy, right? Then like, instead of doing your own work, you say you just jump right into it. That's when you might feel shaky. Like, I don't know, like this person might not have my best interest at heart. But if you did your own work, cleared the energy stuff, then you go talk. Imagine how much more powerful the conversation is because then you can take away what you need from it
Mm.
versus like relying on them to tell you what's up. That's
Okay.
the show.
All right.
How's that sound?
Yeah, I think I understand it better.
Cool. So then, bro, after the affirmation part, then it's rescore the charge, right?
Mm.
So maybe it was 10 before. Is it like one now? Or is it four? If it's four, spend time with this again. Or look for in the day where someone triggered this in you. Oh man, when that coach said that to me, then you can go through this again and be like, oh, this time it wasn't that bad. It was like now I'm at a one. And then now only if it goes up, maybe it goes to a five, but then you can bring it back to a one. If it goes to a 10, maybe it was like way past your boundary. It was just a really unfortunate event, but you have the skill set to bring it back down to a one.
Gotcha.
And that's the process, man. It is looking at these thought patterns that get in the way of this, what you feel, and what you want to do.
Mm. Sounds good.
What are your big takeaways?
I've definitely noticed because I was telling you that I've been burning out this week. Well, I definitely noticed that this week, the charge around those things, like the inadequacy with my coach, has definitely spiked compared to before whenever I was dealing with it better. Um, yeah, I definitely see a lot of correlations and examples in my own experiences where I've done the good thing and I've also done the bad thing, you know.
Yep. Yeah, man. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to send you all 42
All right.
patterns. What I want you to think about doing is simply systematically go through them. Okay, so take one glance at them, like which ones, or the top four that pull at me the most. Deal with those first. And then the rest is like you can just go through them, right? Like when have I felt this? When have I just like knock them out? But spend time on the four that have the most charge. Bring that down to like one, two, or one.
All right.
That's your homework, man, because you know what to do.
Mm.
You know the pyramid, like up and down by now. That's not that. You got to just get out of your own way.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, man, I almost cried there because like that's as strong of a message to me as it is to you. So let's both get out of our own ways so we can experience what we want in life.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest challenge, man, is defeating yourself.
Dude, I've done it so many times, but I'm done with. I can't keep doing that. So like I'm making the stand, and I'm going to make the stand for all my athletes, all my clients. Like no, we're just not going to do that anymore.
That's what's up, man.
For sure. That is
Very
always. But yeah, man, I'm on this journey, you know, um, with you. I've been doing the same program you guys have done. Um, yeah. So I've just,
you look slimmer.
I dropped 30 pounds, man.
God damn. God damn, what?
I'm about to drop another 60.
Wow.
I told you I'm going to get to 180, so I'm going to be close to your weight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it. Man. I'm with you. Uh, really, man, it was all those DNTPs for me.
Really?
Oh, if I do this, will I be able to work on the business? Well, is it selfish of me to do this? Because then I won't be focusing on my clients.
Mm.
It's BS, man. Once I got that cleared, like it just all came off. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm killing this. I'm hitting 60s on this pancake. Let's go. That's easy. I'm
Yeah.
feeling.
Whenever I was going through it with my burnout thing, um, like for the past 3 days or so, I've just been just thinking about how I can help myself maximize what I want to get done, and like refocus and rethink. And I wasn't really distracting myself with like drugs or friends or what may be. I was just deep in my own thoughts, trying to figure out how I can focus properly and not have another burnout and things.
Mm. Yeah, bro. I'm excited to send this to you because it's going to be invaluable. You just work on this, your whole life's going to change.
Cool, man.
And whatever you share with me, I'm probably going to share with you too, because like we're both going to be doing it. Because I'm telling you, man, like I went to go test just grabbing the rim the other day. I'm already back to grabbing rim. I'm not even like at my lightest yet. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's happening, I'm going to be bamming it probably in like 3 months.
Yeah, that's cool,
Right?
man.
So like I just disconfirmed it. I was like, no, stop it.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, man. Take
Yeah.
charge.
And then also, get rid of your negative thought patterns so that you don't have to deal with the other. Like you don't want to have to deal with other people's negative thought patterns and your own.
Mm.
Because if you already do it to yourself, man, that one comment you see on Facebook or that one person that says that one dumb thing gonna get you.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I put out this piece of content, right? And it got like all this positive response. 300 likes on YouTube. Like, awesome. Like one dislike, but who cares? The comment that got me, because I was so hard on myself already, is like, this dude looks like a Sasquatch, period. Right? And I'm like, and at first I'm like, whatever, like, whatever. 2 days go by and I'm still thinking about that damn comment. Like that son of a bee called Sasquatch. I'm gonna get on this keyboard. I'm gonna be a warrior. I'm gonna type back to him. I didn't do that because it was stupid. I had to stop myself. But yeah, I realized that too. It's like if I'm already doing that to myself, that one comment's gonna kill me.
Mm. Yeah.
So, bro, do this work. Don't let anyone say shit to you that's not true of what you feel. All right, man. Feeling good?
Feeling great.
Awesome. I'll send this to you, and then I will send you times next week. I know I've been crazy booked this past 2 weeks, but I'll send you times for a second day. Okay?
All right.
All right, my man. Keep your head up.
You too, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Peace.
See you later.